Hello, our Excel video tip today is going to be on the trim function. The trim function is used to remove duplicate spaces, and those spaces can be either at the start or the end or in the middle. Basically, it's anywhere you would have more than one space within the text. It's going to remove anything past that first space. So to help us kind of illustrate this concept, I've got a mock-up of some data that will help us. Here in column B, C, and D, I've got column B where it's the category, and you'll see some weird formatting. We'll talk about that in a second. Column C is the trimmed. We're going to put our result in there, and then just some fake sales numbers. So if you look, sometimes when you pull a query or you get data back, wherever you're pulling that from has added some extra spaces. So if I click in my formula bar here in cutlery, you'll notice that there's some extra spaces after cutlery. In heated cooking, I've got some before and some after. And toast and bread, I've got these extra spaces here in the middle. So where that might run into some problem is, let's say I've got a different spreadsheet and I've got a dashboard and I know my categories, so I'm just going to type in cutlery, heated cooking. I know I've got the spelling right, but I'm not anticipating those extra spaces. So let's say I'm going to do a VLOOKUP formula. And again, if you haven't watched the VLOOKUP video, I'd recommend that you do that because that'll explain exactly what I'm going to do here with the VLOOKUP. So I'm going to look for cutlery within here, and it returns an error. So the reason it returns an error is VLOOKUP is used to look for an exact match. And since there's no spaces on the end of here, and there are spaces on the end of here, it doesn't find it. Now I could go through every single one of these and delete off the extra spaces, but that's a lot of manual work. So this is where the trim function can really come in handy. So if I do in this now column C where I've labeled it trimmed, if I do trim, open my parentheses, click on the cell that I want to trim, close my parentheses, you'll notice now that it's done cutlery, and I'm just going to drag that formula down. Now you'll see that on cutlery, it's removed the spaces on the end, which we can't really see there. Heated cooking, it's removed them on the beginning and the end. And toast and bread, it's removed those extra ones in the middle. Now, if I reference this off of my trimmed column, you'll see that it returns the right number and it's able to see it appropriately. Because now that I've trimmed out the extra spaces, it matches that exactly. It's just a nice text function to help you clean up when the text may not come back in the formatted way that you were expecting. So that's today's Excel video tip on the trim function. Thanks. Have a great day.